Hi, welcome to Chat Speaks, where I speak on things relating to politics, motivation, faith, and encouragement. And I also want to thank people who have supported my channel, either by sending me a donation or going to my Teespring store. I just want you to know that I really do appreciate you and appreciate it. It helps me keep this channel going. Before we get into our topic of discussion, our weekly wrap up, I want to remind y'all to share, subscribe, and like. And comment below if you think what we're saying is good. If you think that you have a disagreement with what we're saying, we want to hear it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but don't make it too ugly. But so without further ado, I have my girls with me, and we have a new friend with us. Her name is Shawnee, and she also just started her YouTube channel. So I'm gonna let her go first. Y'all have met as in Jay Bree, but if you haven't, we recorded another video last week. And so, Shawnee, just tell us just a brief synopsis about who you are, what you're doing, and all that.
Okay. Like Chad said, Shawnee, I recently started my YouTube page. It's conservative things, politics, and just me. You're going to get politics with a little humor. So if you come to my page, it's not going to be stuffy. You laugh. I think you'll enjoy the videos. And so just that's about it.
All right, Jay, just tell us a little bit about yourself for someone who may be new watching.
Yeah, so I'm Jay Bree. I have topics kind of all over at this point, but they're all politics with me, Jay Bree. And we also talk about these crazy liberals, the non-tolerant, tolerant left. And that's
it. All right, ask a bit about yourself.
I'm just, as I have a YouTube channel, I'm kind of the same way. I'm like all over the place. Whatever happens to me that weekend or that day, I talk about. And I'm just waiting for those liberals to cry as normal.
I think that we're all waiting for that. So let's get into the weekly wrap up. What has been of interest to us? I know the debates, not the debate, but the election is coming up, and we'll get into a little bit about that. But so while we're on the topic of elections, Jay, what do you think about this election period? What's going on in your mind?
So first, I have not voted yet. I'm going to be a traditionalist and vote as traditional. At this point, I've seen places that are saying Biden's going to win. But look, they did this in 2016. Hillary was supposed to win by a landslide. Not only was Trump supposed to lose, but Hillary's supposed to win by a huge landslide. And that just didn't happen. So I really don't trust the polls. I've seen polls that even have Texas as a swing state instead of as a red state, which is like never going to happen. But I guess they're talking about early things that are coming in. People don't know anything. So we just pretty much have to wait. I don't know if we're actually going to get the results on right after. I think that's a big question. Are we going to wait for a week? Are we going to wait for 5 days? Or are we going to be getting the winner that election night? And I'm not sure. So I just wanted to ask everybody, have you guys already voted? And also, do you think that we're going to get a winner that night?
Well, I already voted because my husband dragged me into it, but I wanted to be a traditionalist too, with the chaos too, but he ruined it for me. So, but I already voted. But he's gonna win. Girl, we gotta book our flights to DC in January. We're already gonna just show up. We're gonna be there.
But do you think he's gonna win that night though? That night, or do you think we're gonna have to wait like a week or a month to get results?
No, I think he'll win. I don't think it'll be a month or two. But I mean, Nancy Pelosi always has something in her bag, so she want to be president, girl. She want to be president. She ain't gonna let Kamala be president. You lost your mind. Ain't gonna happen.
Shawnee, have you voted yet?
I have. I voted during early election, which was last week. I think it was that Monday I voted. So I've got my vote cast, and of course it was for Trump, and red all the way, straight down the ballot, red all the way. And so, do I think he's going to win, or we'll know that night? I believe we are, because it's going to be such a landslide where Why? Why should we wait? He's going to probably even pick up states that we didn't think he was going to probably pick up as well. So that's what's going to make the determination, I believe, that night, because it will be no doubt at that point it's Trump, baby.
Chaz, have you voted?
I have not voted. I was tempted to go vote yesterday, but I was actually out of town. And I don't know. I just kind of think my vote counts a little bit more when I do it on election day. I don't know. I think it's just
Too.
I think it's just like, the icing on the cake. Like the cake has already been set up. Like the enthusiasm is out there. We're getting it in. Everyone is like, all these everything going on is for Trump. But I just think when I cast my vote on that day, it's just like taking a lemon cake and putting some lemon frosting on it. That's what
my gosh.
that's the way I feel like it's not completed until I vote on election day. I mean, y'all voted early, so y'all just got to eat the cake, not the frosting. So
Hey, but you know what? What was crazy though is that we had the day off, but honestly, I got emotional after I voted because I mean I've been a Democrat my whole life. I've worked for the damn party. I voted for Biden in the primary, and I've had such a 180 that it was just emotional. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow, I hated this man back, in March. And then to, try to do everything to get him reelected. Like it was emotional.
oh,
Oh,
right side. The Bible says that the left inclines to foolish things. So we're glad that you're on the right side.
And then we went to the gun range.
Uh-oh.
Do I think that we're going to have to wait a week or month or whatever? I'm praying that we have such a landslide victory that he gets at least, 270 is to win. I'm hoping at least that he gets 300 because right now, Florida's looking good. Pennsylvania's looking good. Texas is looking good. Arizona is looking good. California may play into the popular vote.
I think so too.
Yeah. But I think that we're going to win. I think we're going to get some of the smaller Midwest states. So I think that he's going to win in such a big margin that even if those mail-in votes come in, it's still not going to count. And now that he's won those Supreme Court victories, their mail-in votes have to be there by Tuesday. They were trying to say, some of the states were trying to say, let us count them out a month.
right.
They wanted, like, if we gave it to them, they were going to be like, well, that's just until January, But Trump's like, no. And now that we have Amy Coney Barrett, if it comes down to it, we have 6 conservative and 3. But I don't even count Roberts as a conservative anymore. But that's what I haven't voted yet. I'll vote on Tuesday. I'm going to try to go early. I looked at the weather. The weather looks like it's going to be pleasant. But even if it was hailing, storming,
for real, girl,
anything, I'm still going. I have my hair natural, so I don't have to worry about it getting wet. So I'm like, okay, rain, sleet, hail, snow, whatever.
Hurricane, flood waters, we going.
I just said I would not do mail-in vote. I said I would not, and I think that we're all not doing mail-in vote. That's the only thing I noticed. Nobody did mail-in. I don't think anybody said they did mail-in.
No, girl.
Exactly. Okay.
No. I said if I can go to work and I can go to the grocery store with a mask on, I can definitely go and vote with one on.
Right, and half the time I get my neighbor's mail, and I don't get my mail. So I don't trust the USPS.
No.
I'm sorry. I know Trump said we're gonna make it great again with the post office, but it ain't great right now. So
right.
I happy little legs up there to the senior citizen and go cast my vote. And okay, so I have a question for y'all, because I know during the primaries they ask you, are you voting Republican or Democrat? So do they separate you, or do you just go through a main? Is it just all one line?
I know for me, early voting, we all just went to the same location. I know in the past times they would separate the Democrats from the Republicans. So I think now they're just letting everyone vote together. I don't know what they'll do election day, but I know for me, everybody just walked in the same door,
Mm-hmm.
voted. They didn't have a section off, and I don't know if there was, because of what's currently going on or not. They just wanted one way in, one way out, but they didn't have us separated.
When we went to win the primary, and they said, well, I don't care if they think if it was Democrat or Republican or whatever, but you should have seen the looks that I got when they're like, "Are you voting Democrat or Republican?" I'm like, "Republican." They're like, "Uh." And
Are you sure?
You ain't black. You ain't black, child.
Girl, for real.
I didn't know they would ask that question. Wow.
They do.
Because
No.
They have you in separate lines.
yeah, a lot of people
okay.
were saying that they were Republican, or they were trying to throw it off some type of way. So they're like, I had to sign something saying that I registered as a Democrat, a Republican. I'm like, okay, this is serious. But I wasn't going to vote for Biden anyway. And so they're saying that no incumbent has lost that has had at least 74% voting in the primaries. Trump got 97%. I believe it was between 94 and 97%. So people who didn't even have to go and vote for him came out in droves and still voted for Trump in the
But that
primary.
was pre-COVID, though.
Was it?
The numbers are pre-COVID, so I feel like they're not. I don't feel that we could use numbers like pre-COVID now, because COVID isn't in play a huge part in the election.
It is.
Well,
There's going to be a lot of people that won't come out because of COVID, like especially the older population that are Trump supporters. And I think that's why they're trying to fearmonger people into this whole mail-in ballot. So that's why it's more important for us to go out and actually vote this year than last time.
But then you also have a lot of the ballot harvesting where, like, the Democrat, like it happened in Harris County, where they're already under investigation, where they're going to the nursing homes.
Oh, yep.
And then doing it for them, and then sending them. That's the problem that you're having.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, pre-COVID, like if COVID didn't happen, oh girl, this is in the bag. There is no question, no nothing. Trump winning, we gone. There's nothing. But the fact that you have COVID and then a mass voter fraud, it's gonna be different.
But also during COVID, they did a survey, and 56% of people, even during COVID, said that they feel like they are doing better under Trump's administration than they were 4 years ago. And so when Biden heard that, he was like, well, then they just don't need to vote for me. They need to go vote for Trump.
He did say that. I remember that. Yep. Yeah. So, rambling Joe Biden.
That man don't know what he's doing. Oh God.
Good for him. He said something right.
He's just like breaking down every day.
Before our eyes. Yeah.
We're chumps. We're deplorables. I don't know if I'd rather be a deplorable or ugly. Which one? Which one do y'all take?
Or a Russian bot. I'm an idiot. I'm all kinds of stuff.
I'm not black.
Yeah.
I'm not Hispanic either. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be deported. Well, but I just don't know that I'm gonna be deported. But I'm gonna be deported.
See, they don't tell us that. They can't deport us because we're here. So they just try to drag us back to the South, the plantation. They like, get back over here. You ain't supposed to leave.
What?
But, so I'm looking at the polls based on the rallies. What do you think about that, Shawnee?
The rallies. Okay, so I know here recently, they've been talking about the support that Trump has overwhelmingly received from a lot of individuals just coming out supporting Trump 2020, MAGA. And as far as Biden is concerned, he may have like 7 to 10 people there, and that's including media, wife, him, and Kamala. That's it. So it has not been looking good for Joe Biden at this point, as far as the rallies are concerned. And I believe it's a concern for them too as well, because when you think about it, I mean, the enthusiasm is not there for Biden's campaign at all.
No.
It's not there. Trump overwhelmingly, I mean, across the board, all races, I mean, just out here, we're just doing it up. I mean, today my Trump and Pence shirt was delivered, so I have it for Tuesday because I'm gonna have on my gear, but you know, yeah. So I'm gonna just flood my timeline with pictures of my of my head in my shirt. But the rallies, oh my God! I mean, just the support for Trump is overwhelming. Overwhelming. I know here recently they were talking about in Florida how there was a huge turnout for Trump's administration. However, it was Ivanka. Trump wasn't even there.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and how there were more people there for Ivanka than Joe Biden would even have in one event. And so, I mean, that says a lot. Ivanka is not running for the presidency. It's
yeah.
Joe. So,
But you know what, too?
I've noticed that with the Democrats. I don't know if you have seen that, but they actually try to put Joe Biden behind the scenes, and they put everybody up front.
Yes.
So I've also seen Barack Obama coming out, and now he's up here at the Biden he's speaking, and it says Biden Harris on it, and I'm just like, I'm confused on who's running. Is it Biden or is it Obama? Is it Michelle Obama? Is it who's actually running? They always have Biden in the back. I don't know if y'all have noticed that or not.
No, I've noticed.
yeah,
Like,
and then they even say Kamala and Biden. It's never Biden and Kamala consistently. Is
yeah.
Harris and Biden. So,
Well, you know,
But-
Obama said infamously that Joe Biden, if what do you say? Joe Biden always has the potential to f things up.
yeah, he did say that.
But even Obama didn't have. I think he may had 100 cars, and they were all socially distanced, and like it's like no enthusiasm for any of
But
it. A lot of the people who voted for Obama in 2008 were mad and upset with him because of Obamacare, and
yes.
people who follow the news, what he did, the wars, what he did in Libya, what he did just in Yemen, all that kind of stuff, and what he did with the jobs, like with coal, with what he did like in the Midwestern states and in Philadelphia, in the Pennsylvania area. They were like, we don't want to see him because of what he did, and the media lies about it, still make him think that he had no scandals, no this, no that. You had like, I sent her these 18 scandals that he had. And I think people are just like, F him, screw him.
Yeah. And you know what? There's another story that we keep forgetting about is Flint, Michigan, and how
Yes, the water.
with the water, like they could have just given them the money to get their water system fixed, but they did not. But what happened? Trump was elected, and he said, "Well, what is it that you need?" And he just gave it to them, and they were able to get their water system fixed. Unlike when Obama was there, it was like a patch job in a sense. Then he kind of mocked the situation by having
He did.
a bottle of water, but it wasn't even water from the fountain. To my, oh, this water is good, and it was a bottle of water, and he opened it up. And
he did worse by drinking the water. They did not. Nobody liked that. Nobody did, because that was very disrespectful for him to drink the water. And whenever we're complaining about the water, if I'm complaining about our water here, I'm not going to be like, oh, there ain't nothing wrong with this water. Y'all crazy. Nobody agrees with that on the right or the left. Everybody believes the water was terrible, and I wouldn't make a mockery and just drink bottled water in front of them and make it seem like it's all in their heads. That, oh my gosh, I don't think he's.
I remember that. It was awful,
and they remember that. Yeah.
Well, he was too busy. He could have used some of that 1.5 billion that he sent to Iran, not just to fix the water in Michigan, but he could pay some reparations. And it's so funny how people are asking for reparations from a white president, but why didn't you ask about it from the black president?
Obama. Mm-hmm.
But not only that, but they had the House, they had the Senate, and they had the presidency. So
They had all.
it was black. It was that you had the majority of every single office. So
And
therefore,
he
if you
still
wanted
didn't do
to get
nothing.
something passed, that would have been the time to do it. It would have went boop, 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 boop. Even if every single Republican said no, you had enough
You
Democrats
still had
that
it.
could have passed it and pulled it through.
Yeah.
Well, he
They
did.
didn't
He
want
did
to do
more.
that.
No, they did. And during the debates, Trump, he brought that up. He said, well, why didn't you get it done? Why didn't you get it done? And he said, well, we didn't have the Senate. But you had it for 2 years.
Yes, he did.
Years. And I wish that Trump would have remembered that, because he could have came back and said, no, you had it for 2 years. You could have gotten anything done at that point. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that his last year president, people were like, he may win the presidency, but he's gonna be a lame duck president, and you ain't getting nothing to do.
Yeah.
Other Affordable Care Act, but I just don't think Obama had the and then they keep, like, Michelle Obama keeps lecturing us about, you're black, you should. I'm disappointed in you. I'm this. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for this, then he would have. How about Hillary was just a horrible candidate? How about Joe Biden is horrible? It's not because we're horrible. It's because the Democratic Party puts up horrible candidates. No one liked Hillary Clinton. She was like a witch. No one liked Joe Biden. This is the third time he said he's running for the Senate. So he did. And now he's out there it's horrible. And when they tried to come to Texas, so let's talk about that. So we're talking about rallies. They came here to Texas, and Houston, y'all let them get away with it. I think y'all let them do their pit stop and all that kind of stuff. But
That's ass in Houston.
But when they went to Austin, it was a different story.
They didn't even stop. They were like, "Nah, we gonna go."
Yeah, and they're trying to say.
But the thing is, they had events here. They had events everywhere, and then they had them in the valley. Like Beto was in McAllen, and Julian was in Castro. He was in McAllen too. But girl, they were here, and they were just. Then they started talking mess because they had the Biden bus. There was more Trump people than they were Biden people in the middle of the damn day. Like it's a Trump train, they just rolling through, and they have like 10 people, 20 people, and then you have press there, and the vast majority is Trump. Then they want to create a story talking about, they're being harassed. I'm like, you weren't harassed by nobody. We had a guy here that said that his 16-year-old daughter was harassed. They went up to her and yelled at her. I said, no, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Do y'all remember when Cardi B tried to pull that I was harassed? I was harassed by Trump supporters, and the lady is actually suing. I don't know if you guys know that, but she's like, no, that's a defamation of character. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she's actually suing, but she's like going after Cardi B for saying that this lady attacked her. So that's defamation. These people can't keep saying bad things on people. And I said, all these people that have been speaking, saying that Trump supporters are racist, they're fascists, or this or that, they need to start getting out lawsuits on these people, because that needs to start being illegal.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they start cussing us out. Like you're harassing us. We're the ones chilling on the side of the street, and you're the one that comes to us and harasses us.
Right.
I don't like it.
There is more Trump supporters than Biden supporters. I mean, you're outnumbered, so it's not our fault.
The thing that Trump supporters do is wave their flag, play the country music. God bless Texas. We're just going to have our music up. We're going to have our Trump flag. We're going to be they bring containers with drinks in it. It's like it's so much fun. It's like what do they call those things they do?
A tailgate. It's like a tailgate.
Yeah, it's like a tailgating party. This one guy was like, he's a Democrat. He's my friend on Facebook. He's like, why do y'all keep having these rallies? I was like, because it's fun. It is so much fun. Have y'all ever?
Why are you hating? How come you don't have a Biden rally? Go have a Biden rally.
No, hold on. Let me see what their Biden rallies is. Everybody gonna be like this
with their mask.
Because they're scared. I mean, we're not saying that the virus is not serious and that it doesn't exist and all that kind of stuff. But at some point, like,
it's politicized though. It's politicized though. That's my problem.
yeah. And I've been all these places. I've been in Washington. I've been to all around all these places, and I try to make sure my immune health is good. And I think that that's what people need to start talking about is getting your immune health instead of wearing these masks all the time. But they're just fun. They're just, I mean, you're with people, you're laughing, you're talking. Like, okay, so we were at this rally today. We were doing our flags, and there was this Hispanic family. These little girls, these men, adults just drop these little kids off with this Black Lives Matter sign. And so we went over there, and we're like, hey, we're Black. You want to talk to us? Let's talk to us about our lives. And they're like, I'm like, do y'all even know what y'all are standing here representing? Do y'all even know what you're doing? And they're like, we're destroying the hate. And I'm like, why are y'all so angry? Y'all just look so. And one of the little girls looked a bit more than Hannah's age. And then they had like a little boy, like 6 years old. And every time a car ran by, like, doing the fist, he had to remember to do it. But they wouldn't talk to me. I'm like, why don't you want to talk to me? I'm Black.
They can't talk to you because they don't have anything to talk to you about. And that's the problem. Just like if you ask someone, what is it about Donald Trump that you don't like? They can never give you anything other than, I don't like him or he's racist. And you can quickly debunk that. I mean, there's been several videos where he has condemned, disavowed, supremacists. So it's like, people just go on what someone have told them without doing their own personal research to know why they feel the way they feel. They just taking a line from what they receive from CNN, pretty much.
Okay, so I keep on hearing Trump is going to jail. Trump is going to jail. Okay, so are they talking about the impeachment charges or because I'm like, what's he going to go to jail for? And they're like, just wait.
Yeah,
they don't got nothing, bro. They don't got nothing. They
trying to do tax evasion with the taxes, but then he said he prepays them. Yeah. Like a lot of rich people do. I mean, a lot of rich people, they're just like, I just don't want a huge gazillion-dollar bill at the end of the year on April 15th. So I'd rather just pay y'all, $10,000 a month or whatever, and then whenever I get there, it's already done. Even us as regular people, I don't know about you guys with taxes, but I take out 0.0000 so that I don't owe y'all at the end of the year, and I claim one by the end of the year. So you know what I'm saying? So even us, we even as regular people prepay our taxes. That's how we get tax returns back, because we prepaid them and we paid too much into it, and sometimes we can get stuff back. So that happens, and that's okay. And nobody's calculating that. But I think they're trying to get them for taxes. But I'm like, hold on. I always like, what about Hillary? What about like all these people? Right. They're committing the worst crimes of humanity, and nothing happens. Like they're running for president, and they're just walking around. Where's Hunter Biden at in this whole entire scandal?
Right. Girl. I don't know where Hunter's at.
Where is Hunter Biden? We need a "Where is Hunter Biden" sign.
Where's Hunter?
I want to know where Nancy Pelosi is. I know she's getting her hair done. I want to know where's Hunter Biden.
Right. At the council of have you ever seen Eyes Wide Open or Eyes Wide Shut? And they have like the hooded figures, and they're like all sitting around with their hooded figures and their beaks and stuff. It's like the demonic council. He's probably in there getting chastised. I don't know, but I'm just like, what is he going to jail for? And I told someone, I said, I guarantee you that Joe Biden will go to jail before Trump will.
Or Hunter.
They have to take over. No, they've taken over the FBI. I don't think so.
I think someone's going to get arrested because...
no one's going to get arrested.
No one's going to get arrested from the whole scandal.
They should get arrested. Starting with Hillary first and this whole Russia collusion mess that she concocted and carried on for how many years? The whole presidency, wasted taxpayers' money, impeaching Donald Trump for what? Just to find out later that it was all fake. It was a farce. But like,
but now Joe Biden is now using Russia as a part of Hunter.
But I think they took it back.
Right.
Bill came out and said,
I'm like, oh, so now I'm like, we just gonna blame Russia for.
But we can't blame China. They blame Russia, but we can't blame China. Whenever he actually said, Joe Biden said, the growth of China is best for us. No, it's not. The growth of China is going to be bad for America. But it's crazy because he can actually say this stuff
And get away with it.
and get away with it. I'm like, where in the world can we say the growth of any other country is best for America and they get away with that? No other
the
president.
growth of China is best for my pocketbook. He just put us. I mean, he said us. I mean, he said it's best for us. I mean, he was talking about us as in
His family. The Biden family. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, who says that there's going to be some arrests? I say that there's going to be some arrests. I'm the only one that thinks there are going to be some arrests.
I think if anyone gets arrested, it probably will be Hunter.
Okay, and so as
I don't see Hillary going to jail, or
I don't think they go to jail. The left doesn't go to jail. I don't know if you've realized that with the Hillary Gate thing that kind of happened with the WikiLeaks. They don't go to jail for anything they do. So it doesn't matter the bigger the crime. It's the fact is they own so many entities out that nobody who's going to testify against them. They're just going to kill them. And that's what it is. No, that's real.
Yeah.
So I'm going out on a limb and I'm going to say that someone big is going to get arrested. And when I win, all three of y'all chip in to take me to whatever restaurant.
Hell, I'll go with you.
Okay. So let's say who do you think is going who do you think is going to get arrested out of all these people in the whole scandals?
I say Hunter.
I say ain't no one getting arrested.
I say no one's getting arrested.
They're just not.
Hunter's getting arrested. S says nobody's getting arrested. Chas, who do you think is getting arrested?
I think Obama may get arrested.
Oh, girl,
Obama's not going to get arrested.
Oh, you off. You way off, Chas. Obama is not. If they arrest Obama, Black Lives Matter gonna be out there like this. What y'all do to the black man?
They're gonna take some black paint and they're gonna toss it up there on the White House.
Exactly. The White House gonna be black house. They will never take the black person. They can't take the woman. They can't do it. They always
have to take him.
Joe Biden is gonna get charged for treason, and then it may come out that he had a heart attack, and then you're gonna see the flag on his coffin like all disheveled like John McCain's was. So,
okay, all right. So we have some projections out here. Okay.
That from God. I just know at the beginning of the year that this prophet said that there was going to be justice, and God is tired of all the stuff that's going on. He said that there was going to be some uncovering and some embarrassment coming out, and that there was going to be some arrest. So I think that if Obama did get arrested, oh my God, it would. You know how many riots there would be? It would be like,
yeah.
He's black. You can't arrest him because he's black. That's it. There's no other reason besides he's black. I would honestly, before Obama, I would want Hillary. I hate to say it. Hillary's been in the game a lot longer. Obama probably has too, but I would want Hillary before I want Obama, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think that Trump cares, because if he wins the White House, and that's why they're trying to keep him out, because they know, like Hillary said in that WikiLeaks, if he wins, we are going to hang by the gallows. So, speaking of gallows and hanging and that, okay, so we know all this stuff is going on. We know it's going to get crazy. Are we protected? Are we strapped? Are we, what's going on? S, you just said that you went and got you a GAT. What kind of GAT did you get?
I have a 40, I have a 380 that I carry, and then I have an AR-15.
And you just shot the AR-15, right?
I know, this Friday. And it wasn't bad at all. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I actually enjoyed it.
So did you ex-military? Are you ex-military?
No.
You got a lot over there.
She's in Texas, girl. That's everybody look like military in Texas.
But you know what's funny? Ez was against the Second Amendment, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
and now she's shooting turkeys with her.
Oh yeah, man. I was like Beto O'Rourke. Take those guns. They don't need those guns. The police only need the guns. Y'all need those guns. Why y'all need a big gun anyway?
So, what made you decide to start thinking about I need a gun, I need to get protected?
Girl, COVID, it just left too much time. And then you start realizing all this craziness they were doing. They're politicizing, this virus. They wouldn't have shut down. They wouldn't have done any of this if it wasn't an election year. But it is, and that's why they did. And then I just started reading people going into people's houses, in the streets.
Did you see the St. Louis? Did you see the St. Louis couple
Yeah.
out there with their? Yeah, they got charged. I don't know if you guys know
I
that.
know.
They ended up getting charged for their lawyers.
These people coming up in your damn neighborhood. Like, what do you
have a right to protect your property? So
they didn't even shoot no. It's not like they shot anybody. They just went in like, hold up, you ain't coming in here with this foolishness. That's all it was. And that's the same thing with me. Like,
so in one of the other states, I can't remember if it was Minnesota or Missouri or whatever. So, our friends went to the neighborhood, and I think this was the time they were with drums and stuff at 3:00 in the morning. Was like, wake up, MF, wake up, that one. And a guy stood at the window and like had his gun, and he got charged for presenting a weapon.
oh wow.
Wow.
A lot of people just wake up, mother, wake up, and they had like drums and stuff. And so he opened up his window and he like kind of like showed his gun, like, don't come up on my neighborhood, don't come up on my grass and stuff. And he got charged.
Oh wow.
That is a different. So I think here in Texas it will be different because Texas is a stand your ground state.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it will be a little bit different here. Shawnee, what is your thoughts on owning a gun and being a woman and with all the craziness going out? What are your thoughts on owning a gun?
Oh, you should have one. I grew up in a household with guns, so it's nothing for me to. I've always had a gun. Pretty much, that's how I feel because I've always been in the house with guns. But I have my own personal gun, so I mean, I live alone and I have to protect myself. So if someone is trying to get in here, you're going to be trying to get out of here by the time I finish. I got to do what I have to do because, as a woman, a lot of times people think they can take advantage of you. And so it may not be, I guess, popular for a woman to say, hey, I'm packing or I own a gun. But, hey, it is what it is. And times are not getting better, they're getting worse. So we have to do what we have to do as ladies.
Well, I actually heard the best example, and basically it just says a 100-year-old 3-foot lady now has the same power as a young man of like 6'8", 300 pounds. Now with the gun, you guys are now equal. It evens out the playing field for these people.
It's the equalizer.
It is an equalizer. So that even if somebody is physically more power, now you can be smarter. You can have, immensely more powerful than them.
Yeah.
So I like that concept that we as women, we can live by ourselves. We can feel protected. We don't feel like even if somebody does come and break in, we have something there. And I love that idea. So I don't have one yet. Y'all know that I'm going. I know S. After I heard what S said and everything, I was like, okay, maybe I should. And she went to the gun range, and I think also knowing how to shoot it because I was always afraid of not knowing what I was doing. So if something happens, I'm gonna be all crazy, the one shooting all over the place, right? So I think important because S goes to the gun range. How often do you go?
Well, I already went just 3 times in these past 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
We ended up getting a membership because it ended up being super cheap for the whole year.
A membership to the gun range?
Yeah, it was only $450 for the both of us for the whole year.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
No, and you go to the range just once, it was coming out to like 50 for the both of us. So I was like, no, we're better off doing this. And you could just go whenever you want. And I mean, I just go there, I use 2 boxes of ammo, and then we leave. And it's like literally not even an hour.
So do you and your husbands, you and your, not husbands, you and your husband, do y'all share the guns, or does he have his own set too?
He has a 40 that he likes, and then he uses the AR. But I actually like the AR. It wasn't as much kick as I thought it was going to be. I just thought different, but I actually didn't mind it at all. It had a laser on it. So, I mean, it was nice. And the 380 is a smaller, so I liked it too.
Okay, so why do you think people think that they're so dangerous as the AR-15, the one that they're trying to ban?
I don't know, but back when I hated people with guns, I would just say, I was literally like, well, why do you need it? I always said, I'm like, you don't need it. And they would always be like, well, I have a right to have it. And I'll be like, but you don't need it. So you don't need that gun. So, why have it? Why make it? Because you don't need it. That would just be my argument. She's like, you don't need it. So you'll be fine. You don't need it. And that was just my whole argument always, is that you don't need it. For what? Why?
So you don't think the AR-15 is dangerous after shooting it?
No. Oh, no. I mean, it's a powerful weapon, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, see, you like it for enjoyment. A lot of people have guns just for enjoyment, recreational.
Hunting. A lot of people do it for hunting.
Yeah.
I actually heard, oh my gosh, y'all, y'all know I do home health, pediatric home health, and I just heard gunshots in the morning. Y'all know. I'm like, where are we at? I was in the country too. I was like, oh my gosh, my life is over. I don't know what's happening. It sounds like a mass shooting out here, right? So I was like, yo, we gotta call the cops. Oh no, so I'm about to get up here, call the cops. They're like, oh, it's dove season. I was like, look, I was about to say we got mass murderers out here. but they're so used to it, and it's crazy to be used to gun sounds and not even react. And I think whenever you're in the country, people don't even react to gun sounds as they would in like the city, because the city, it's like people are only shooting to kill. But if you go to the country, people aren't shooting to kill. So they're a lot more comfortable with it. So I think that's why you can be afraid of it in certain places and not. But that was the first time I've heard gunshots like that, and everybody's just like, all right, like.
Well, if you go to Memphis, you just gonna hear gunshots all day, and they ain't shooting doves. I mean, it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's like they don't understand logic. What goes up must come down. Like you have to be in a space where you can shoot a gun for just shooting it for, like a range. You can be out in the city, but you have people. I'm like, do they realize that bullet is going to have to come back down, but where is it going to land?
Well, girl, I think in Memphis they were actually shooting at someone.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the issue. So I'm not for shooting in the air on January 1st. I don't know, maybe being anti-gunner, but I just feel like the shooting in the air at the New Year, we have the New Year coming up. I just feel like so many people get hurt on New Year's from you guys doing that. Because you guys are just, let's shoot our guns. Well, that's also not shooting it appropriately. And I mean, I don't think you should full on ban it. But if you're going to do it, all go to the country, go out there. I don't want you in people's front yard in the middle of the city shooting it up. But people will do it every single year. And I think that's not correct.
Right. No.
Well, I went to a shooting range, and I think my friend who took me, he didn't give me no warning. He didn't say nothing. He was just waiting for me to follow my butt, and I almost did, because like you said, what when you shoot something, you're not shooting it up, but you're shooting this way. But the ricochet, the bullet comes back, the power. I almost fell. He's like, ha, 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 ha. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? He goes, oh, because I just kind of wanted to see what was going to happen. But I do think that people who when I shot that gun, it made me have respect for that gun. It made me have respect for the power of that gun. because it is a powerful weapon. And I just wish they had a gun that didn't do like ricochet, because that hit me, and I'm like, wait, I don't like getting hit with the ricochet because it hurts. But I do think that I am going to take my sons to start teaching them. And Hannah's already like, I want to do it, but she wants to do everything. I want to shoot. I want to do this. Okay, so I have a question for y'all before we start. Well, I have two more things for y'all. So my daughter wants a MAGA mask. What do y'all think?
A MAGA mask?
Like a Make America Great mask. And my friend's like, Chas, you can't get that for her because if you do, you're going to get terrorized. She's going to get this. People are mean.
Yeah.
And what do y'all think?
I think that politics is for adults, and also the young lady who was involved as far as climate change. I'm forgetting her name, Greta. Even right. So whenever, even when she was trying to get involved, and I was just like, stay in a kid's place, because even she came out and supported Joe Biden. I'm like, child, you can't even vote. So I just feel like let them be. I think that they should just enjoy life, and they think that everything is unicorns. Let them enjoy unicorns while they're unicorns. But
unicorn.
I'm sorry.
She thinks Trump is the unicorn. She is like, she's like, when we went to the White House, she's like, am I going to get to meet him? And can I meet Melania? And then when we're watching the Trump rally, she's like, she's singing the Trump's, like that song that I showed her the video compilation that Shawnee did yesterday, and she's like, "Let us ride the Trump train." I mean, she loves Trump, and I mean, I've never just told her you gotta love him. Like I tell my kids to like stuff all the time, and they're like, "Nope." But she just has a fixation with Trump. She even asked me. I said, "I gotta go vote on Tuesday." She's like, "Well, can I vote?" And I said, "No, you're too young." She said, "I want to vote." I said, "Well, who would you vote for?" And she's like, "Trump." I was like, "Oh, okay." But she just has I teach her the Bible, but she's not over there. Can I wear a Bible shirt? Can I go study? Can I go study Genesis? But so she just has like this this affinity for Trump and Melania, his wife. And she's like, she saw some people, she saw them Amish people at his rally, and she's like, "Mommy, can I get a mask like that?" And I just don't want her to. I don't want to have to fight someone, because
that's where we go. That's where.
Yeah. I say take it all out. I don't like the LGBTQ things in there. I don't like the Black Lives Matter. If you've seen the schools that have the Black Lives Matter stuff on there, take it all out. You're here to learn. That's just me. And I'm going to say it on both sides. Because whenever I go to work, we can't do that at work. So I don't think that they should be able to do it at school. That's my personal perception of it. But I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
She homeschools. So I would never say that it's to school.
Oh, homeschooled. Oh, okay. Then that's
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like a public school. So I was like,
yeah, I was all like,
no, she just wants to wear it when she goes, like when we go to the store or when we go out and about and have to wear a mask. She just
okay.
Yeah, not to school. I wouldn't send her to that in school. Get people spit in her food and stuff.
Right. People treat you.
oh yeah.
So
What do you think about her having a mask, Shawnee and S?
I think for me, I say no at this time, only because you may be around others that may be in agreement with your political views, but everybody's not the same. So like when you go to the grocery store, we have crazy people out here. They may just snatch it off her face and entice. It's almost like if you wear shirt, if you wear their shirt out, it's almost like they feel like you enticing violence upon yourself because someone is going to say something to you. We've seen videos where it was some children or teenagers eating in a restaurant and somebody snatched his hat off because he had. So it almost entices violence. It shouldn't, but it does. And you don't put your daughter in that situation where somebody will lay their hands on her and then you have to lay your hands on them. So
Jesus take a break.
That's gonna be in jail.
Somebody go to jail. Somebody go to jail. Yeah.
what about
S?
My daughter wears a Trump shirt. You know, when we go do stuff, because she wants to come with me. We don't wear face masks, so I mean,
So okay, S's answer is no mask at all. Let's just be clear on that answer.
Right. So before we wrap it up, I wanted to ask you ladies about, because I know a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now with this, with the Wu flu and all this kind of stuff that's going on. How has it affected y'all as far as like mentally, emotionally? You know, has it been hard for y'all? Just like just I just don't want to imagine a new normal. I don't like the old normal. Like, you know, how is it? Because I know for me, when it first started happening, I was like, okay, let's just buckle down. And I was telling my son, he was like, "Can I go to gym?" I said, "You want to kill us? You know, I was just like, I saw, you know, and then
oh wow,
well, this was like the first 2 weeks when I'm watching in China, the people are
Yeah.
falling dead. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is the rapture coming? What, I mean, let me go eat some more before, you know, let me just do whatever I want. Well, I didn't do anything bad, but I just thought the rapture was coming. I'm like, surely goodness and mercy is following me, and the rapture is. But after a while, I found out, I mean, even though I kind of like settled down and all that kind of stuff, I went through like a depression. I went because it was like, I can't be around my friends. Well, me and my one friend, Nancy, I mean, if she had the Wu flu, then I was going to get it, because that we, not 100% of the time we were together. We were going to the grocery store. We were doing this. So like, if you got it, I got it. Oh, well. But, you know, it was just like, we couldn't go out to dinner. We couldn't go out to, you know, the concerts. We couldn't do any of that. So I actually went through a slight depression. And even though I had my children here, that even got hard. Like, can you stop breathing so hard? Like, you know, quit smacking. They're like, I'm eating with my mouth closed. I'm like, stop it. You know, it was just, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go for a walk. And so how did it affect y'all? And how are y'all, with me, I think it was the word, getting into the word, and you know, just praying and just knowing that God, you know, he said, no matter where you go, even to the low to the end of the earth, I'm still with you. No, I'm with you even to the ends of the earth. I just had to find peace. And you know what, Lord, I may not know who hosts tomorrow, but I know who is in tomorrow. And I just had to give it to him. I had to give him my fear, my worry, my stress. And I just had to say, you know what? You have written my book. You know all the pages in my book. And if this is not it, then I know you have more for it. I heard someone say, if I'm not dead, then he's not finished.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to start doing, because I stopped doing everything. I stopped writing. I just stopped living. And I was just existing, waiting for something to happen. And so what was y'all's experience?
girl, that was beautiful. I was the opposite way. I was all like, this is all freaking planned. It's an election year. These damn Democrats are freaking making this thing bigger than what it is. Keep us locked in. Have the TV, have a monitor, you know, have the, you know, COVID count on the side to have people to be in fear to leave the house and blame it all on Trump. Girl, I knew it from the beginning. I was like, this is all BS, and I'm pissed because I can't do more normal stuff. That's how I was.
What about you, Shani?
I think for me initially, when everything started happening, I just knew. I think I was more thinking about long term, like how long can we keep this up before our economy is really affected? Because I feel as though I want everybody around me working. I want everybody doing well, because when to me that's how I gauge how things are in society. If the people around you are doing well, everybody's healthy, everything is good. And so, I mean, I knew people that were getting laid off or hours were reduced. So it was pretty tragic initially. And then, you know, my grandparents, I'm really close to them. I live like 3 houses down. I could literally walk down there, but I still drive my car. But that's for another time. But for them, you know, I was really concerned because I didn't want to pass, if I had it, to them, you know, and just hearing what could possibly happen to them if they were to get it at their age, because they're in their 80s. But I think now at this point for me, it's almost have become the new norm. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I do more online shopping than ever before. So it's like trying to adapt and still have faith, trying to adapt and still have some sanity through it all.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Brie?
So so my family don't live here, so I did a trip back home. So I was like, look, if I'm about to die, I don't want to be here by myself. Like, what? Who wants to be here like I hate. So I didn't follow no restrictions. I was like, all right, well, I'm going home. So if we shutting down the world, at least let me just be at home. So and then my mom, y'all, I went to my mom's house. I said, oh gosh, I gotta stay with her. Y'all know how that is, going back to your parents' house after you already moved out.
Yeah.
So I went with her. I'm paying my rent down here too, but I went with her. She was one of the mass tissue shoppers. So all we have is just tissue, just here and here and here and here, and then there's toilet paper, and then we have everything. And then she bought all this food, and I started putting up the food. I said, we don't have any more room for the food. Like, so then we had to actually give away the food because it couldn't fit in. We had the regular refrigerator, we had the freezer, and we had the back one. And I said, there's nowhere else for the food to go. So, so my mom was those people. And then now afterwards, I think she can still live in that house for another 2 years with all the crap that she bought. But I was like, you're risking your life more by going out here and constantly buying all these shopping trips, But I think for me personally, I think that like whenever I went to Washington, D.C., that was the first time I felt regular and normal. And that's what I loved is that, when it was crazy, that was supposed to be a super spreader. Have it's been weird? I didn't hear about anybody from the event getting it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was one or two, but I haven't heard anybody from the event come out and say that. And we were all, and so I'm like, okay, something must not be adding up. We were all there. We all went to the White House. He supposedly had a super spreader event and nobody got it. So, and then the smaller events that they've had, maybe it's been one or two, but not a whole significant lot. But so we were the toilet paper people. No, I'm gonna put my mom in that. Look, I'm gonna put her in that. I'm not putting me under the bus with that because I wasn't about to go by that. I'm like, what kind of virus?
I don't understand. Toilet paper. What was up with the toilet paper?
I still don't get. I still was asking her, and I'm like, why? They're like, well, just in case. I have no idea. Honestly, I think Charmin and all them, they put all
They make money.
And you know who else made money? The plumbers. They made money too because it was a lot of clogged drains, I'm sure, with all that toilet paper.
I remember thinking, oh my God, okay, because I went to Sam's and the meat was gone. So I'm like, okay.
Yep.
We gonna have to do like we did when we grew up. We just gonna eat beans and rice, and so
and some crackers.
Like, where's the meat? I'm like, go. I said, there is a pandemic out there. You better go eat them beans and rice and be happy. And they're like,
oh my gosh.
Okay.
Man, I was not like that. That's crazy.
Yes, it was crazy. Like I would go to all these, and then me and my friend would be like, okay.
I was just like, this is all. I knew from the beginning this was going in November, and people told me I was crazy. They said I was a conspiracy theorist, said, oh, this is not about politics. I said it from the beginning. This is going to go to November. So I took it. I didn't believe any of it because it was all a manipulation to get, Trump out. Just like the super spreader word. The left came with that. Like, they're the ones that are making these words up, and therefore, so everyone else can use them and say, like, oh, this is why the numbers are going to go higher. Because now it's not about death. Now it's about cases.
Well,
they use that.
Because when I was little, I ate mud pies, and I drank out the water faucet outside. Someone was crawling up in there. We were outside from dusk to dark until the street lights came on. stuff off the ground, like, oh, 5 second rule. And
5 second rule.
yeah, now we got our kids bubble wrapped and safety nets and germified and all that kind of stuff. And I have to admit, today I was holding that Trump flag for like an hour, and then someone gave me some peanut butter brittle, and I was like, and I didn't even sanitize my hands. I was like, oh well, it is. I mean, because actually, like, I was telling y'all about the little baby yesterday. So he like was doing his little tongue, and I had to explain to Hannah that that's the way they learn their environment, by their sensory, because they can't talk yet. And when they're on the ground picking up stuff and stuff, and they put nasty stuff in their mouth, that is building their immune system up. And going outside playing in the ground and all in the grass and the ground and the mud, that's building their immune system up. And these kids nowadays don't get to do that. So that's why their immune system isn't all secure like ours is. I mean, we were outside. Our mom didn't even know where we were unless our bikes were there. We didn't have like the internet and all that kind of stuff, but we were outside all the time. I remember my aunt used to get her food stamps once a month, and it was when they had like the green one, the blue one, the brown.
Oh, you would cut it off?
Yes. You must not grew up here in Texas, Jay.
No.
Well, we would go take $1 food stamp, and we would go get penny candy, and then we would get the change, and we would do that over and over and over until we could afford to go like to Taco Villa or go to go get some real stuff like Fagos and pickles with what is it? The red little
Kool-Aid.
Who?
Is it Kool-Aid?
We don't put
Racist.
The sticks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, I would put Kool-Aid on the top of pickles. That's the reason why I said when you said red, I was thinking Kool-Aid because that's what I did.
Oh, yeah, y'all put that chamoy and all that stuff. That's what y'all do. They have that down here, right?
We put Jolly Ranchers in our pickles.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we didn't. And also, we like what up until we got those food stamps, it was Flavor Aid. We couldn't get but then we got them. It was Kool-Aid, because the Flavor Aids were like 5 cents and the Kool-Aids were 10 cents. It was just growing up, but
I've never heard of the Kool-Aid thing. I don't know. See, here's the deal. Whenever I try to be non-stereotypical, so I'm like, I'm not doing Kool-Aid. I'm not doing chicken. I'm not doing. I go completely out of my way to like, and then if I'm like, all right, I gotta buy some watermelon. That's kind of healthy, you know. So I'm like, all right, we got to do it at night when nobody sees me. Y'all are not about to see this black woman with 5 watermelons. Y'all are not gonna do it.
Hey,
my kids barely just learned about Kool-Aid. I mean, because I never bought them Kool-Aid. I was just always bought juice because we had so much Kool-Aid when we were growing up. It was like,
oh man, we had Kool-Aid all the time.
We had the invisible Kool-Aid. I had the invisible Kool-Aid, so
you were like shaking.
They thought it was water.
they even make the invisible Kool-Aid anymore? Now I gotta go find the invisible Kool-Aid, the white one.
The invisible Kool-Aid, so nobody else drinks it because they think it's water. Sorry, that was just a side note. So you get the whole picture for yourself.
Now I gotta go find the invisible Kool-Aid. So, all right, ladies, do y'all have any other wrap up? Any other thing that
I do have a question, because the last time we spoke, remember Chelsea Handler talked about 50? Girl, then 50 dog Jen turned and said, "Nah, never mind, F Trump."
Okay, so the other
I was like, damn it! Why'd you fold like that?
But he put an LOL at the end of it. I bet you he's still voting for Trump.
But why don't even come back and say anything? Like,
I know, that was my thing. I was all like, man, you weak.
I made a video about that. I said, can we really take him seriously? Because you know how he plays too much.
Yeah,
all the antics, and he flip flops and say all these different things. I just couldn't take him seriously.
But I guarantee you, I would double dog dare y'all. Y'all already gonna have to take me to the restaurant with the spinning thing that man is gonna vote for Trump. He may not say it out loud, I guarantee you, half those movie stars are going to vote for Trump. They don't want to pay no 60%. A lot of them are already starting to get other residences outside of
But
California.
I was mad. I was like, why go back? Like, just be a man, be a damn man, and just say this is what you're doing. And why you letting her dictate? Just be a man and just move forward. That's the part I was all like, can you just be a man about it? Like, and just.
I think there's some money. I think there's some actual money in that. A lot of these people that are coming out and doing all these Biden events and supporting Biden, I think that there's money behind it. And I think they're saying they're trying to shut people up with money and dropping a little, do that. So I think it's a money thing. I don't even think it's a moral thing.
Oh, yeah, moral with them? Heck no. But, Bloomberg is like dropping millions of dollars into the Democratic fund. But, okay, so before we go, we need to send good vibes and prayers because I really want to get up and have liberal tears on Wednesday. I wanted to go good on Wednesday. Okay, so what are we going to do on election night?
Well, I'm fasting tomorrow.
You're fasting? Oh.
I'm fasting all tomorrow and praying as well. Like, I have my thing. All right. So all I'm doing tomorrow is just juice in the morning, lunch, and evening. So pray for me, because I'll probably pass out. I'm be so hungry. But
I know we got to make sure we got to make sure you under. All right.
I'm gonna pass, and then I'm gonna do that, and then on election day, I'm gonna be. There's 11 polling locations in my area, so I'm going into work for a few hours. Then, girl, I'm gonna be a one-woman Trump train. I'm gonna go with my flags to the polling locations.
Trump train.
Just a hot mess.
Sorry.
Do you plan like what? Are you going to a watch party? What are you?
I'm going to 3.
Girl, you just be going everywhere.
Right. Houston, though, you know how they be in Houston, though. Y'all going. I don't have any plans yet. I was gonna vote, and then I was gonna get on the road, and I should be in Dallas by later that evening. But I have nothing actually planned for the night because last time it took till about 3 a.m, 2 a.m. I was like, look, I'm going to sleep. So I was like, I'm just gonna wake up and see the results. So I hope that it doesn't take that long because last year it took a very long time. So I didn't even want to do a watch party because I'm sorry, 9, 10 o'clock I'm going to sleep, regardless of if they've had it figured out or not.
I know.
I'm gonna be nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be nervous.
Yeah.
Because they cheating bad, and that's my only problem. Is like, if this was a fair or even minimal voter fraud, I would be. But they're doing it on a mass scale that it makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Shawnee?
Yeah, it makes me nervous too. I mean, even when I think about Tuesday, I get a little anxiety because I just want him to win because I just cannot see the country going in a good direction with Biden and Kamala. I just don't see it. I mean, for a number of reasons. We don't even know what their plan is, what policies, nothing. We don't know anything. So I feel like it's gonna be the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
And you know what's going to happen? They're going to fall in the ditch. So, for me, I don't have any plans. And because I'm off this week just for the election because I don't know what's going to happen because people are out here like losing it on the left. And so I just want to be somewhere safe. So when they decide to start hollering and barking like dogs, I'm at the house and I'm in a safe, confined place.
Well,
wow.
All of us are here. Sorry, Ez. We need to get together.
Wow.
We need to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner this week.
Y'all should.
We should.
We'll screen time you in, and you can watch.
Well, Daniel's gonna be here. I told Daniel you're not gonna see me pretty much on Tuesday. I took Wednesday off, but on Tuesday, I'm literally going to be a one-woman show, coming home, changing, and visiting the three election parties, and then come home whenever time.
Trump train party.
I love that. The one-woman Trump train. I like that, actually. I love that.
I do.
Look, your video, you need to record it and then title it One Woman Trump Train the whole entire time.
Yes. Well, I don't know what I'm going to
Getting
do.
cussed out and everything.
But like Shawnee was saying, that they have not really put forth their policies. It's like Obamacare, like Nancy Pelosi said, we got to pass it before we know what's in it. And that's what they're like. You got to vote for us before we let you know what we're going to do. So I really am going to be praying. I'm going to be just, I may need to go get a mud cloth, and I may just need to get a threshing floor and just get before the Lord and be like, Lord, you know that people are crooks. The Bible said put him in remembrance of his word, and you said righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. And so I may just start calling, but I do believe that Trump is going to win. He may not win on election night, but he's going to win. And I'm praying that he has such a high electoral vote that they don't have any choice.
There's nothing to do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
Jay, speaking of, Chastity mentioned Obamacare. Yesterday, I was at a friend's Halloween, and she's a Biden supporter, but whatever. And she works for an insurance company, healthcare insurance company. Anyway, she was talking about she was saying something, and she's like, "Yeah, so we need universal healthcare," and I was like. I'm like, no, we don't, because who's going to pay for it? We're going to pay for it. She's like, no. She's like, we need to help with the people who can't afford it. I'm like, the people who have private insurances get kicked off. And she's like, oh, they only get kicked off because they don't care. They care about profits over health of their people. Girl. And I was like, damn it, I need Jay on the phone.
Well, the big okay, so
no.
The biggest lie is that we do have it. Actually, the people who can't afford it are actually the middle class. The poorest people are going to get Medicaid, or they're going to get some kind of volunteer thing. Even the illegal immigrants, they're going to apply. Guess what? Everybody is going to get served. Now, the bill, whether you can afford it or not, we'll make sure you're alive first. And we'll pay you. You'll get the bill later. But the poorest people, they get health insurance, or they're going to get Medicaid. They're going to get CHIP. The kids are going to get CHIP. So that's the biggest lie. It's actually us in the middle who's not going to be able to afford it.
Yeah, because I know.
So, anyways, that's what you say back if she ever says anything. The poorest people.
I know. I was like, no.
Pregnant women are going to get it. Children, with Medicaid. So we need to stop acting like this is for poor people, because it's not. Poor people already have Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. New World Order, but that's another subject, and trying to get us all on one voice, one accord, one religion. It's about control, so they can say, "Oh, what did you post on your Facebook? Oh, and she needs heart surgery. No, heart surgery, nah. Or they're 90 years old. Well, she lived her life, nah." So, but that's a story for another time. So, all right, ladies. We got to come back either Tuesday or Wednesday, and we got to talk about, summing up what happened, our anxiety. I may just take I don't know. I'm
taking off on Wednesday, so I can get on. Either I'll be crying my butt off. I don't know. One of the two.
You are not crying, but what I may do is take a Benadryl at about 8:00, and then so I'll just sleep until like 8:00 in the morning, and then I'll wake up and say, "Oh, Trump won! Yay!" But I get nervous. Like when my kids were playing basketball, it was close. I would have to get up and walk outside.
Yeah.
Stressful.
I'll be like this. I can't look.
I be
bad.
So thank y'all so much for coming. We're gonna try to make this a once a week thing. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think that we're gonna find out what the election is on Tuesday, or do y'all think it's gonna be in January and Nancy Pelosi's gonna step in and be president? Or how did y'all react? Did y'all go through depression, or were y'all like on Sherlock Holmes, Sherlockwa Holmes on the case? So just comment below, and remember to share, like, subscribe, go to these ladies' pages. I'm going to have their YouTube channels in the description section. And thank y'all so much for watching, and God bless you, and God bless America.